And right now it's time for that time when we talk to our special guest. Tonight our special guest is Jimmy Martin. Jimmy's life could be described as up and down. One of the big downs for Jimmy was spending a total of 28 years in prison. Just released 4 months ago, Jimmy tells us how his life has changed. Jimmy Martin, welcome to The Beat Goes On.
Thank you.
Wonderful to have you in this studio tonight. And it's been a strange life for Jimmy Martin, hasn't it?
Yes, it is.
I can tell our viewers that you've spent more than 20 years in different prisons throughout New Zealand.
Yes.
Nothing starts in 2015. It goes right back to when you were a young child, doesn't it?
Yes.
And what's your first memories? And whereabouts were you born, Jimmy?
I was born in Murupara, on the other side of Taupo.
Yes, exactly, yeah. What's your memories of mum and dad and the family?
Well, I was whananga reo to my grandmother. Mm-hmm. We moved to Rotorua.
How many in the family?
Family, I have one brother, 2 sisters, and apparently I have a twin sister that I don't know about. I have no connection with them. When my grandmother died in Rotorua when I was about 7, 8, I went out on the streets, lived out on the streets. And then I moved into the gangs from there.
The gang is in a lot of ways, it's another family, isn't it?
Well, they accepted me.
Yeah.
And you could say that I was looking for a family.
Because the family that you were supposed to have, a loving, caring family that looked after you, did they let you down?
Oh, for sure they let me down. Yes, they did let me down. I mean, I was abused.
You were abused?
Yes.
Was it sexual abuse or just flips around the ear hole? And,
No, sexually abused.
Okay. And you thought that was the norm? You'd talk to other boys and they'd said, no, that doesn't happen to us. Is that how you found out that things were, that's the way it shouldn't be? Or?
Well, no, I actually found out when I was growing older what they were really doing.
Really?
And I had no inclination of what was happening. I didn't know at the time. My brother was staying with me, Pinny, and he bolted. He jumped out the window and ran away, and I felt abandoned. I only stayed with my grandmother because, out of due respect of her bringing me up. Mm. I had other family members there, and being abused all this time. And then when my grandmother died, they were all arguing on who's going to take me, and I remember sitting under the table, listening to the arguments and all that sort of thing, and I said, oh no, I'm out of here.
And you were about 8 years old?
7, 8 years old.
Okay. You felt deeply unhappy? While you were under that table, you just felt a sense of unhappiness? And
well, I suppose from the 3 years old till I was 8, 15 or something like that, I was extremely unhappy. I wasn't guided. I needed guidance.
And how did you express this unhappiness?
By running under the house and hiding under the house. Mm-hmm. At the time, my father, my real biological father, I remember pinching milk bottles and buying him a birthday card, and he came for a visit. And I gave him the card and I told him about what was happening, and he gave me a good hiding. So
you told him what was happening, and he gave you a good hiding for telling him what was happening.
Exactly.
Wow, not a great start, is it?
No, not a great start. So my normal thing was run away, hide under the house. Mm. Then I was drawn into the gangs.
And they were
a family.
You found they were a better family.
They accepted me for who I was.
Mm. Everything they asked you to do, you accepted it?
Yes, I did.
At any times did you think this could get me into trouble, or this?
Didn't even sort of cross my mind. As I grew up in the gang, I sort of got I looked up on the history of what this gang was about and what it stood for and all that sort of thing.
Did you have a sense of pride being in that gang?
No, I just felt I was wanted. I felt I was accepted.
Now, being in that gang also, you also had a sense of power, didn't you? There was a sense of power there, wasn't there?
Power and control, yes.
Yeah. How did that make you feel?
Well, it made me sort of feel inferior. I didn't worry about anything else except for the gang.
Mm-hmm. So activities within this gang, we won't go into the details, but you ended up being arrested, of course, and then facing jail?
Well, yeah, I was from a youth going to CT in a day, and then borstal training, and then imprisonment.
Did anyone in this long journey, was some nice men trying to give you advice and put you on the right track? Can you remember those? Anyone giving it a go to sit you down and have a good chat?
No.
Nothing like that?
No, I was more or less getting, I had to confess the crimes I didn't even do from the police.
Mm.
They'll do their little thing and assault me and all that and make me confess and sign papers. That's something I didn't even do.
Could you have listened at that age? Could you have listened to that good advice coming from, say, a kindly policeman?
Well, there were no kindly policemen at that time. They weren't kindly. I mean, if they were kindly.
Sometimes there's a kindly one, amongst
Yeah,
people. Yeah,
I understand that. It's not actually the organisation I'm anti about. It's just the individual.
Yeah. What's the longest stretch you ever did, Jimmy? What's the longest stretch?
16 years.
16 years. Wow. What do you think that day you go in? How am I going to get through 16 years? Or what's going through your mind that day?
I mean, it was a really big shock, but being used to going in and out of prison.
Mm. This was just another day at the office.
This was just another day at the office, yeah.
Yeah. But 16 years. Now that's fascinating, isn't it? Now, Jimmy, that day you went in, you were probably just being yourself, but 16 years, a lot of things happen, don't they, in prison?
Mm.
What do you think where was the turning point? Because you have changed your life now, haven't you?
Yes.
What do you think it was that gave you
my turning point?
The trigger point, trigger point that changed your life?
Yeah, I think my trigger point was when I was in Pare Miramo and got stabbed in the heart 3 times and I died. Came back. That was my point of changing in my life. That was actually 2005.
Other inmates attacked you?
I got stabbed by an inmate.
Yeah. And when you woke up, you say that you died.
Yes.
How long were you dead for, you feel?
The doctor, I died on the landing, and the old school nurse that was up in Pare Miramo, she came to assist me. Then I was put in the ambulance. I died in the ambulance. I was taken to Auckland Hospital, and I died on the table there. I wasn't aware of all this until the doctor approached me and told me about all this.
They always say that people that die actually see a white light and they walk towards something and they get this wonderful sense of peace and happiness. Did that happen to you, or you have no memory?
No, it didn't. The thing that happened for me was that I saw a lot of arms just going like this.
But I never, arms?
Yeah, but I never saw the faces.
Oh, okay.
And I think if I'd have seen the faces, I would have been drawn more. But because I didn't see the faces, I was sort of held back, and I think that's what brought me back. I think that if I had really done wrong, I believe that God would have kept me up there. Mm. But I came back, so maybe there's more
for you to do.
More for me to do.
Were you disappointed when you came back? You feel disappointed that?
Well, no, that didn't even cross my mind actually. When the doctor actually told me that, I was sort of thinking, why did I come back? You know, I mean, I was better off. I felt at peace.
That's what I'm saying. A little bit of disappointment. You felt at peace, and now you came right bang back into the world where all the troubles were.
Yes.
So then you got better. That would have taken a good 2 to 3 months to get better after that stabbing.
Oh, about 6 months they fed me with all these pills that I didn't want to take. I sort of more or less healed on my own.
But something else was happening in your mind, wasn't it? It wasn't the physical body. What was happening in your mind after that, in that 6 months? Where was the change occurring?
It's not me to really attend courses and all that in jail while I was in jail. And I thought, hey, I need to start somewhere. And I started doing courses, and I actually started, my first one was to become a food hygiene inspector for NZQF and a social worker. And I did 2 or 3 years of that, and then I was told that I couldn't carry on any further because I had a criminal record. So I went on to do a course in chef, and I was mentored by the head cook of all prisons, and I started my journey from there. I've attended all the programs in jail. They had mana wahine,
And before, you never looked at these courses.
No.
You wouldn't have anything to do with them. And now you were right into them. A huge change had occurred, hasn't it?
Oh, very huge.
Wow. Now, what about the people around you? Did they see a difference? What did they start saying about you? Gosh, Jimmy's changed.
Well, you know, they sort of said, oh, no, he's not like that. No, you can't have him like that. Or, I mean, honestly, you get some idiots in jail and you get some really nice people that will support you.
See, I bet there were some people wanted you back the way you were.
Yes.
Yeah, and you had to fight them, didn't you, to say, look, I want to change, I want to move on.
I mean, yeah, I had fights and all that sort of thing, but I needed to stand my ground. If I didn't start then, where else could I have started?
Then you had the problem of, I'm going to be out of prison soon, and when I walk out that door, I can go down that road and rejoin the gang, or I can keep on changing my life. Did that happen?
They come into my thoughts, but because I wanted to change our life, it's a different environment being in jail to an environment being out in the world. No, I needed to change my life, and I had to change my life. I wanted to.
Old friends, once you walked out on the street, they want to contact you and say, Jimmy, there's a party on tonight. Come around, and then they start talking about what they're going to be doing, and then
I have come across that, but I just said,
how do you fight that? They want you back into their world because you've been an old friend, and yet you're saying, look, I've changed.
Yes, no, well, I haven't said I've changed. I said, hey, I'm on another pathway. I'll respect you and I'll say hello, but that's as far as it goes. I'm on this pathway now. So if you can please respect me, I'll respect you, and they have respected me.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get involved with negative people.
Jimmy, you're 56.
Yes.
Still a young man.
Just wondering where all those years went to.
Still got a good 20 years left. What do you want to do, Jimmy? What do you...
I want to give back.
You don't want to go back to prison again, do you?
No, I don't.
So how are you going to avoid that?
By sticking with positive people.
Yeah.
I've achieved the landmark course.
Which is quite fantastic, those courses, aren't they? Yeah. Wouldn't it have been great when you were, saying you were 18, 19, 20, 22, having those landmark courses back then?
Yes,
would you have listened? That's the big question, though. Yeah.
Excuse me. I think it would have been, it should have been there at the early stage.
Yeah. See, they
maybe when I'm 15.
They would have competed with the philosophy of the gangs, wouldn't they?
Exactly. If I had the tools then it wouldn't have been a story. But because I didn't have the tools, and I'm 56 now, and things in that course that I got a hold of was getting a hold of my father.
You got a hold of your father in the end? What was that meeting like?
Well, negative. You know, really negative. I just wanted a peace of mind.
What did you want to say to your dad? Dad, why were you like that?
I wanted this, I really wanted his sister's number so I could ring them up and forgive them.
Yeah.
Because I'm on another pathway and I just want peace of mind. I want to move on.
And what was their reaction?
Oh, just negativity. Negativity. He's just still stuck in the old way. And no, but I forgave him. And the hardest part for me was afterwards when I cried about it. And that was my tears of all these years of letting go.
Because boys are taught to be staunch and never cry, never show emotion. And you wore that with pride, that badge, that you didn't express your feelings.
No.
And it all poured out one day, I suppose. Right, there's a young boy going into prison for the very first time. He's 16 and a half. What would you say to him?
I would support him and help him as much as I can.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a learning stage for him going into prison. But I just hope anybody in that at that age going into prison, if they could sit back and think about their life, is this what they want in their life? Or do they want something different? They can create their own possibilities.
Great. Yeah. Wonderful. Jimmy,
Thank you.
thank you for coming in here today. I know how difficult it was to come and talk. A couple of people had to persuade you to do it, but
Yes.
You did it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.